All right. Hey, folks, this is Al Stats. We're here again for Uptown Villa Park, and we have one of my hoped for and greatest guests today from Dominic's, because you see this here? That's part Dominic's Pizza and Pasta here in Villa Park, right on St. Charles Road. And before we introduce our guest, let me tell you who our co-hosts are. First of all, next to me is Dennis Keating. How are you, Dennis?
Good. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Great. What's going on in your week?
Nothing. Been very busy this week and having a good time. I just wish it would stop raining.
Stop raining. That'd be good. That'd be good. The grass keeps growing. And over on the opposite side here, to the right of our guest, is Sid Burke. How are you, Sid?
If I was any better, Al, I'd be you.
Yeah, I know you said that.
I said that and again and again and again. No, things are going good.
How was your week?
The week was, again, interesting.
What was your golf score?
We don't talk
Okay,
about
we
that.
won't talk about
They don't
that.
keep score.
And on his left is our guest today from, and you see the logo on his shirt, Dominic's Pizza and Pasta, Frank Lazzara. Frank, great to have you.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
What a great business here in Villa Park. You were on the road, Frank, like Portillo's. Someday you're going to have 45 Dominic's pizzas across the world.
Wow, that would be
Across the
great.
country.
That would be great.
Huh? Why not? I mean, here in Villa Park, things like that happen.
Yes.
You would have no hair at all.
Tell us about Dominic's Pizza and what it's all about. I mean, it's been here how long?
Well, it's been here since 1963. My family has owned it for 22 years now.
Okay.
It's been family owned and operated. My father had 20 years experience in the restaurant business.
Okay. Well, your father was
Carmelo.
Carmelo.
Yes.
Okay. So
And-
he had a restaurant business where?
In Addison, John's Pizza.
Okay.
That's my uncle. He worked for my uncle for 20
And
years.
John's is still there, right?
Well, no, they just knocked
they
it down.
Knocked it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they just knocked it down.
Okay. Okay.
And
It wasn't on Lake Street?
it was on Lake Street,
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
I didn't realize that that was very good pizza over there.
Yeah,
Well, now
yeah.
you revert all your business back here to Villa Park. That's what
Well,
you-
I have eaten at Dominic several times. I've had pizza there most of the time, and I've enjoyed it all.
Okay.
And I've even recommended it. And I don't know if that's going to get me a free pizza or not.
We
No, I
appreciate
won't.
that. We appreciate
You
that.
mentioned the name 14 more times, you may get one.
Yeah. So, all right, so your family's owned it for 20-some years.
22 years, yep.
Okay. And the locations, I mean, people who've lived here in town for a while, like me and Dennis and Sid, know that you've moved around a little bit.
Yes.
What are you hiding from?
Well,
Nothing.
not hiding from anything. Always trying to prosper and become better.
Okay. Okay. Great.
So,
Great.
so
Where did you
originally
start? You started in by Highview, right?
it started out in Highview, yes, and then when it moved over to Sunset
Okay. Sunset and Addison.
and Addison Road, that's when we took it over.
Okay.
After it was literally there for a couple months,
Yeah.
and then we took over at
Okay.
that point.
Okay. And now you moved to this great spot on St. Charles Road, right
Yeah,
by
well,
Harvard.
we outgrew that spot, and
Yeah.
it was either we take another storefront or we try to look for a bigger location. And we were lucky enough to find, a building for sale on St. Charles Road at that time.
Yeah. What was there before? Do you remember?
Around you, man.
Nope, it was a floor specialties,
Oh,
flooring specialties.
Okay. Okay. And so you had to go in and basically build a kitchen and build everything. It wasn't a restaurant.
Yeah, it was almost like 3 buildings into one, and we just had to gut it out and
Okay.
make it into one building.
Okay. So you brought in the ovens. How many ovens you got there?
Now we have 2.
2. Okay.
Yeah, we
You need
had
'em, right?
we had 1. We just added 1.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got nice counter space there. Little. They call them 2 tops around the counter, right?
Yep.
And then you have this great sit-down restaurant area.
Yeah, we've got a little dining room area that seats about 55.
Okay.
Little bar area there as well.
Yeah, bar area for private parties, or
Yep.
okay, okay, great, great. How? And then the one last thing I want to talk about in general, we'll get into more details, is your parking lot. You've got
Yes.
a parking lot just east of your restaurant,
Yes.
and it's got for the environmentalists that are out there, and there are many here at Villa Park who appreciate this. You have that permeable brick
Yes.
parking lot, which means that rainwater, and God knows we get it.
We
we'll
get it.
Rainwater doesn't just flow off of your property into the streets and into the alley behind you. It actually permeates that parking lot
Correct.
and goes into the ground and, cycles the way it should. right?
Yeah, it helps out for those 100-year rains, which we're supposed to get once every 100 years, but we get 3 every year now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That had to cost a lot of money. I mean,
It did.
compared to, blacktopping it and
Yeah.
putting the surface on there. So it was a good investment for you, huh?
It was. It
Okay.
was well worth it.
Let me just ask the question. Was it required? No, right?
It was not required, no.
Okay. So it was your choice to do that and to help with the environment.
Yes.
Okay. That's one check for good posture, or good neighborly business for you. But the other thing I want to talk about is your product, your pizza. Who's the owner of the pizza recipe for Dominic's?
That would be my father,
Yeah.
Carmelo,
And,
yeah.
What's his background? Tell us. Is Italian?
Yep,
Okay.
my parents are Sicilian immigrants that came, in 1968, and they came over here, and they were both in the, my mom was a beautician, my father was a barber,
Okay.
and at the time, my mom had her salon, and my father was going to school where they were going to have a salon where it was unisex,
Okay.
and that was in the same shopping mall as John's Pizza.
Okay. Okay.
And at that time, while going to school, my father had to get some money, so he started working for my uncle. And it just came out to where my uncle said, hey, why don't you just come work for me full time? And through that process, my dad started from as a dishwasher and became like head chef, over there. And when it was time to come on his own, came up with some recipes. We took some of Dominic's existing recipes and then what my father had learned and kind of infused our own, now. And the thing is what we started 22 years ago, we've kept as the same recipe. So
Yeah.
consistency is like one of our strong suits,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Using
Yeah.
the same dough, the same cheese, the same sauce.
Now you make your own dough, right?
Yes.
In the restaurant.
Daily, yes.
And then refrigerated overnight or whatever.
Yes.
Just let it. Okay. Okay. How about the sauces and the cheese? Are they? What do you?
In-house.
In-house.
In-house. We make them daily.
Okay.
So everything is made in-house daily.
Okay. Good. Good. Now, we'll get into pizza more, but pizza's not the only product you sell.
No, we have a
It's
full,
Dominic's Pizza and Pasta.
correct,
Yeah.
full array of Italian dishes, American Italian cuisine. And, certain things that we like to do is give an Italian restaurant feel, but you could eat it at your own house.
Yeah.
So if you order it and pick it up within 20 minutes, you could have it and enjoy it at your own house.
Right. 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 And
that,
go ahead.
before you go too far, that sounds great. But my daughter, who's been going to the old place now, she's going to the new place too. Every so often now, she says, Dad, what are you guys eating for supper? I said, I don't know, we're going to find something. She said, here's a gift certificate, go to Dominic's. It's $25 at a time she gives me, and me and my wife. And we call whatever, we get the special of the day. Monday is spaghetti and
Yeah.
so we go, we get one of each. We get 2 meals out of your meal. And we get a couple meatballs extra. And then, we don't use up to $25. So the waitress says, well, we'll just put it on your telephone bill. And when you're on the computer,
Sure.
when you come in, you got a credit for $9 or whatever it is. So we get actually 4 meals.
Out of a gift
And
certificate.
the meals on wheels for us is great. There's a couple of days, you get different ideas on different specials of the day. And it's wonderful for us. And my wife has got a good deal too, and so
Yeah, she doesn't have to cook for you.
it's a great deal for us.
Yeah. Everyone wins.
Everybody wins,
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. You're computerized, so when I call in there, right away they know who I am.
They hang up on you?
Yeah. No, well, they try, but I yell out, wait. And they know my address. They know potentially my orders, right?
Yeah,
You guys keep track of
Yeah.
what I order.
right.
So, and just listening. We've been married now almost 40 years. And every time we say, okay, we're going to order pizza. It doesn't matter where we order from. It's usually Dominic's. Every time. She says, what do you want on your pizza? And I look at her like, are you kidding?
Well, she was always wondering, is he going to change this time? She's giving you an opportunity to try something different.
Well, I just
Call
look at it and
Dominic,
say,
they'll
come
tell
on.
you. They'll tell you what.
I'll call Dominic. They'll tell you what I want on my pizza. But there used to be quite a few more pizza restaurants in town, and a couple have gone away, particularly Garibaldi's on North Avenue, the
Yep.
shopping mall, was there for a while. We've got some of the chain or the franchise restaurants in town, some newer restaurants that have been changing hands, and you've outlasted them all, really. really. I mean, there's not one restaurant that I could think of that's been here that sells pizza and pasta like you have that stayed under one ownership for as long as you have. What's the secret?
I think we care.
Yeah.
I think we go into it not as a job, but because we have a passion for it, you know, and I think our goal is not to think that we have a perfect product. I think we try to improve every day.
That's good. Keep
Um,
your eyes open.
Yeah, we're trying to improve on our service, you know, and when we listen to the feedback of a consumer, and we look to try to add new things to the menu and keep it fresh. And, you know, it's, we know that there's competition out there, and the consumer has the end result of where they want to go, and it's our job to keep you here,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what our goal is, to keep you with our family.
Well, one of the things, you know, and I saw it on your website. You know, what's your web address?
DominicsPizza.net.
.net, not .com, .net.
.net.
And compliment you on the fact that, and these guys don't care because they say it every show, we're not on the internet, we don't have smartphones. But I grab my smartphone and I look at your website and it looks good. It's
Thank you.
a small print that, you know, here's a website that works good on the computer, try it on your phone, and you gotta, you know, blow it up and then
Right.
zoom it in. It works fantastic, even down to ordering online, which is great. But the computerized systems help you in a lot of different ways, keeping inventory, accounting, all of that, right?
Yes. You know, it's funny because when we first started, we were handwriting everything. And
The regular menu or
yes,
tickets, order tickets.
everything was, you know, adding up, you know, with tax and delivery and coming up with a total, so that it came down to one time where we wanted to automate and become computer systems. My father said, you know what, if you guys get the computer system, because he was a very old school, he goes, I'm not going to be able to read that. I'm not going to come into work anymore.
Oh, because you can't read the screen?
Well, not the screen, but the tickets.
Oh, okay.
He was used to reading them handwritten.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said, yeah, but this is going to really help us become more efficient. And he says, well, I'm telling you, I'm not going to work anymore.
Oh, wow.
And I
So
said,
that was a big deal.
and I
yeah.
said, okay. And I did it.
Yeah.
Took the risk on it.
Yeah.
And it was funny because, you know, he pops in here and there. And a couple years ago, I remember him just being like, you know, the best investment we ever made were those computers. And I was just like, man, he went from never wanting to do it
Yeah.
until you actually see what it can do,
Yeah.
and then realize that how beneficial they are.
The best idea I had.
Yeah.
He probably took credit. No, well, no, he's a good guy. But the other thing I want to ask you about is product itself. Okay, there are many different ways to have pizza.
Yes.
Okay, not only thin crust, deep dish, and pan pizza, and you know,
Panzerottis?
panzerottis. I mean,
Yep.
wrapping and stuff like. But also, people buy them in a lot of different ways.
Sure.
Take and bake
Yes.
is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Going to, I mean, if you go to the supermarket store, you see an aisle
Already pre-made.
of pizzas of every possible commercial you see for pizza on TV.
Mhm.
That's the length of the aisle. They don't separate it with chicken and pizza. It's pizza all the way down the aisle,
Right.
especially like Jewel. So I know you guys sell a lot of pizzas, but there's a lot of different ways that people buy it. How do you keep them coming back to you?
Well, I think having a different variety, making them different styles is key. And then having our daily specials, because a lot of times people that get those from the grocery stores are getting them because they're looking at the end result of the price.
Yeah.
You know, those may be $5 to $7 for a pizza, and they put them in the refrigerator and they say, I'm going to make it when I'm ready to make it in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So you take that into consideration and you say, okay, well, people need to eat fast. When they make a phone call, they want to be able to eat in 20 minutes, or if it's delivered, they want it in 45 minutes, you know, less than an hour. So you try to come up with a system to serve the people fast, because that's our society now. Is we're in an instant world, and when they're hungry, they want to eat
Microwave
now.
systems.
You know, so that's what we do. And during the week, we have great daily specials. You know, if you've seen online, every
Right.
day we have some type of special. You know, where you can save up to $7 a pizza.
Yeah.
And so that's where we target the people who are looking at a budget, you know, and looking at cost. and we try to hit on that, and then we try to increase our service and knock them out fast, so that you're basically not going to Jewel, keep it in your refrigerator, and say, hey, I'm hungry, and in 20 minutes I'm going to have a pizza. Might as well order from me. You're going to save that $7 that you were going to save, and you're going to get your pizza in 20 minutes like you're going to cook.
Yeah.
And now you don't have to dirty your pans or turn on your oven and,
Right.
fight against your air conditioning when your oven is going on. So we try to look at all the benefits that we can give to people other than just supplying a pizza.
Now, I want to talk about ingredients, and I joked about my wife asking me what do I want on my pizza, and I know what I want on my pizza, but I vary it from time to time, as you guys
Right.
pointed out. But is it true here in Villa Park, like the rest of the world,
Yes,
that most people like pepperoni?
they do like pepperoni, but they also, I think sausage is my #1 seller.
Yeah.
Sausage
that's
is-
me.
Sausage is the #1 seller, and then I would say pepperoni.
How's bacon coming?
Bacon is
It's
a hot
Very
topic. Yeah.
fast on pizza now,
Yes.
Yeah. So
You know,
Sid, what do
I
you
would have
like?
to say bacon is almost like a medicine ingredient. Garlic and bacon. You
Yeah.
put those two ingredients on any combination of pizza,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a great pizza.
Yeah. Sid, what do you want on your pizza?
Sausage, mushrooms, and onions.
Sausage, mushrooms, and onions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you make it into quarters or eighths or sixteenths of sausage and 32nd of onions?
What I would do is eat it the way it comes out.
Okay, you don't care. You don't
When,
care.
when did
The way Frank will cut it is the way I will eat it.
When
Okay.
did that change? He just said when they cut it, the way you cut it. It used to be slices.
With the pie cut.
pie cut. When
Yeah,
did that change?
That was more of a New York thing, because they sell the majority of the pizzas out there in slices.
Yeah.
Over here, when you started, like we still do our stuffed pizzas in pie, because it's a lot harder to eat that deep dish in a square.
Center without the ham.
But it changed like when you decided to serve a pizza for a family of 4 to 5. Okay, so when you got little kids and you got to cut them in square, if you got Johnny who's 3 years old could only eat one, you're not going to give him a big slice and he's going to waste it.
Yeah.
You give him a little square, he's done, and then now sit over here. We could give him 4, 5, 6 pieces.
Because I grew up in the west side of Chicago, and it was always just pies.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just changed. I don't know why.
It was originated done for serving for
The
slices.
family.
Yeah, for slices for like individual. But then when you got into the families, then you put it into squares.
Yeah.
Well, didn't pizza originally, when it first became popular here, it was called pizza pie?
Pizza pie.
It wasn't, the pie has gone away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the pizzas, yeah.
And that had to do with cutting it in that
In
pie
the- in the
shape.
pie shape.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Pennsylvania where my daughter lives, and I went to a pizza restaurant in the neighborhood, and so Pennsylvania's in the New York pie slice area.
Right.
I mean, that's the way they like it over there. They like the slices. And I asked the guy, because we ordered pizza for a family, and not just the size, but the variations of the slices. When you slice into the sections New York style, you get 8 pieces.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
it. You get 8 pieces. Okay. So if you got a quarter sausage, or half sausage and half cheese, you got 4 sausage, 4 cheese. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 5 people that want cheese.
Right.
Now, if you cut it in the party style, the cuts in the
Yeah.
squares, now you've got pieces of variations, more of them, but more variety. That's me. So I asked the guy, I said, would you cut it in squares? He looked at me like, he had no clue what I was talking about.
Right.
So I could see the counter from where I was standing, and he takes the pizza out of the oven, he puts it on the thing, he's gonna cut it, and he grabs the big, long knife, the machete that
Yeah.
he's gonna cut it with 2 handles, and he stops. And he looks at me over the counter, I said, start in the middle. And then he went the rest of the way. But he had no clue how to cut it
Yeah.
into the squares. And, it's New York versus Chicago, and I gotta tell you, there's this great video on the internet that's passing around. You look on, I just saw it on Facebook actually yesterday. It's Cubs versus Sox, okay? And they can't agree on anything. They're both wearing their
Oh,
gear.
yeah, I seen it.
You've seen it, okay?
Yes.
The same thing with the Two Ferns companies.
Yes.
Makes it. And one of the episodes of this is to argue about Cubs and Sox. And then one finally guy says, you know, Southside's got the best pizza. You go, you know, north of Division Street, you can't get a good piece of pizza. I had to go to New York to get a good piece of pizza. And silence.
Yeah.
Now, and that was a Sox fan. The Cub fan looks at him like, are you kidding me?
Did you just say that? Did you just say that?
Finally, the Sox fan goes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he knew he was out of
He
line.
was out of line. Right, right. And you know, the slices and the variations of pizza are immense.
Oh, God.
We just talked about, you know, quarter versus half.
Mm-hmm.
How many fractions will you go?
We do quarters.
Quarters, that's the limit.
Yes.
You can't do an eighth.
No.
No.
You gotta draw the line somewhere.
You put it on a table then with them. So,
And the other thing about other areas versus ours is cheese goes on last.
Yes.
In a lot of areas, that's the opposite. Cheese is on the bottom and all of
And
the
all the
toppings
ingredients on top.
are on the outside.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And do people ask for it that way?
Some people ask for it on top, you know. Some people, like we put our bacon on top because we like to crisp it up. And other people like their pepperoni on top because they like that crispy.
yeah.
We kind of feel like when the ingredients are underneath the cheese, as they're cooking in the oven, all the juices of all the ingredients are actually going into the sauce.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like making a different blend of sauce on that pizza.
Great, yeah, yeah.
And when you do it the other way, all the like juices maybe come off to the side or it doesn't get underneath. So if you're looking for that crispy bacon, that crispy pepperoni on top, that's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
For me, I kind of like it the blend of the sauce with the ingredients underneath.
Yeah, yeah. And well, the other thing, the bad part about having the cheese on top is it's now we're in a Fannie Mae candy situation. What's in this?
Yeah.
You got to look at it. You know, is there pepperoni under there?
Right.
I don't see it. you
Right,
know.
right.
And then you grab it and there's pepperoni. You say, I don't want pepperoni. You know, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. But I like it, you know, cheese on top and all this. But deep dish is really the Chicago flavor. I mean, that's the
Signature.
moniker, signature pizza.
Yeah.
So tell us about your deep dish pizza and varieties.
Okay, well, we have a pan pizza. So that's a thicker crust. It's actually cooked in a pan that has a raised edge around it. And then we make it like a regular pizza where you put the sauce ingredients and then the cheese on top.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we have a stuffed pizza who has the same base, you know, thicker crust, cooked in a pan. Put all the ingredients on the inside, not the sauce though. Put the cheese in, then put another thin layer of dough on top. And then we cook that. And then when it's halfway done, we pull it out, put the sauce, put it back in, take it out. We cut it in pie shape, and then we sprinkle some Parmesan Romano cheese on top.
Yeah, yeah.
And then voila.
Now, if I come into your restaurant, I order a thin pizza. How long do I have to wait to get it?
A regular thin pizza?
Regular thin pizza.
Say 20 minutes.
Okay. How about a stuffed pizza?
Stuffed pizza is closer to 45.
Okay. And the part that I hate the most is when I go to a restaurant, they don't tell you 45-minute wait now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
When they don't warn you. That's why we have it written in our menu.
Well, you walk in, you know, you don't pick up the menu most.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, they don't warn you. So what we do is now we go in, we get a thin pizza, then we order a stuffed pizza, and we get out the thin pizza first.
Well, here, let me tell you about another thing back to that little video I thought was funny, and maybe a different episode. I hope you saw it. The guy says, would you give up, and then he listed a whole bunch of things, if the Cubs win the World Series. And one of the things is, would you give up deep dish pizza? The guy said,
I
sure.
would,
I'll just
sure.
stack up a couple of thin
I will
crust.
never see it. So I don't care.
That's true. But like we're talking about pizza, and we're going to continue to talk about it. But let's for a moment talk about what else I can order in the restaurant or off your menu.
All
What
right.
else you got?
Well, we have a large variety of pastas.
Yes.
We have some Italian dishes, you know, chicken parms and marsala, Vesuvio.
Yeah.
We appetizers, salads, sandwiches. What else we have? We got a pretty big menu.
And the appetizers
Good
include
salad.
like
Fantastic salads.
Thank you.
And they got bacon on some of them now.
Yep.
Yep.
that's a magic ingredient, right?
It is the magic.
It is.
ingredient.
Yeah.
Today all over it. I don't know how to continue on with it, because the bacon's gonna be very short pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how big it is right now? The other day we were at a breakfast restaurant and we were leaving and my little 4-year-old goes to the counter and grabs a sucker and she's at the car and she's eating it and she's like, can you taste this?
Bacon.
I'm like, what? And it was bacon
Bacon.
flavored
Bacon?
sucker.
And I don't think people know. You do catering at all?
We do catering, yes.
Yeah, very good catering.
Yes, we do catering.
We used it at the church a couple of times, you know.
Oh, great.
And it was very good, and you put a lot of food in it too.
Yes, we do.
Package.
That's one of our biggest fears, that people run out of food.
Yeah,
So,
I know how
so,
you are, yeah.
so we never short people of
No,
food.
I mean, I don't think the people know you do catering or whatever. It's a good package or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, things like the golf course. I mean, I've gone to facilities or events over there where your pizza is on the buffet, you know,
Yeah.
and all the other stuff I'm sure is part of it too. So, you know, they can do parties,
Yeah, we have
not just in a house, but in facilities around the
absolutely. We have
neighborhoods.
different packages, you know, the different varieties. If you need 2 meats, 2 pastas, 2
Do
sides.
you do it like per person? You say it's
Yes.
X dollars per person?
Yes, we,
Okay.
we have packages per person.
Person. How many going to feed? You got 50 people coming, you know, it's going to cost you so much.
Right.
Yeah, but not just a pan that says this will serve
No,
40, you
no,
figure it out,
no,
you know.
no.
No, we have different packages, and then if you want a la carte, you know, a full pan will serve 20 to 25 people, and you know, if you just want to like pick and choose what you want and not get a package,
Yeah.
because you don't know how many people, or you just want to, you have other food coming, and you just want to kind of complement what you're bringing, you know, we do that as well.
That's good.
Delivery service. You have delivery service.
Yeah,
Which is great. One of the best you have in town. I'd
Thanks.
say the best in town. 'Cause we're here. You do
Until
that-
the next pizza.
You do it at noontime too? Delivery
We
service?
do it for lunch,
A lot of
yes.
people don't know that, you know, the offices can call and order. from
Yes,
them.
we deliver.
Yeah, the business offices that want
Yeah.
pizza for lunch for their
Pizza
their
and the
crew.
restaurant, and the offices in town, the real
Yep.
estate office and stuff, yeah.
And another thing you mentioned before is the slice, and you just started doing that not too long ago, right?
No, we've always had slices for lunch.
Yeah.
We stopped selling slices at 2:30.
Okay.
But
That's the time I usually walk in. No, we don't have it.
No.
Ah,
The slices at lunch, what do they charge for that?
$2.50
Okay.
for a slice.
And it's a
good
big
deal.
Yeah, it's
16-inch slice, right?
1/6, so we cut them in 6 instead of
Okay.
8.
So it's wider.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
it's bigger than just your regular pie cut.
And your traditional cheese, sausage, pepperoni.
Cheese sausage pepperoni, and then what we just started, maybe that you're talking about, is slice of the month.
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah.
So every month we come up with a new slice. You know, last month was a buffalo chicken tender slice.
Okay.
This month is a bruschetta slice.
Oh, okay.
So if you come in,
Where do you come up with these ideas?
you know what? We bounce it around. We ask customers what they'd like to try, and
Right.
then like we take our specialty pizzas. Like, you know, it's a really hot pizza is the Italian beef and giardiniera. We did that a month. You know, people never even knew about it,
Yeah.
and now they're hooked.
Yeah, and see, like, again, going back to me joking about this is the way I eat pizza. I don't want to vary. There's a lot of variations, and some not even red sauce. I mean, there's
Yeah.
white sauce pizzas. Like, what is that? The
Alfredo?
BLT? Yeah, Alfredo.
We have an Alfredo, chicken Alfredo that comes with Alfredo sauce.
Yeah.
You know, we do some with like a garlic and oil base. We do a BLT,
Right.
you know, where instead of putting actually we do put sauce on that one, but then we top it off with the mayo,
Okay.
Yeah.
you know. So you
Right.
put the tomatoes and
Yeah,
the
so you
lettuce
got
up
the
on
flavor
top.
of it,
Right.
How about vegan pizzas?
Like a vegan pizza?
Yeah, vegan.
You know what? We have a gluten-free crust.
Okay.
So
That's
that
important for people who
Yes.
have the allergies. That's important.
yes,
So it's maintained as 100% gluten-free.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead.
but it is in a gluten environment. You know, I don't have a separate kitchen just for that.
But
So
the countertop and the utensils are separate.
right.
Okay. What about other variations of crust?
Well, the crust we have, you know, extra thin,
Yeah.
extra thick, which is like a double dough.
Okay.
You know, some people like the extra
Filled
thin.
edges?
We don't do the stuffed
Okay.
crust like that.
Those are novelties.
Yeah, you know what? I experimented a couple times where I actually took hot dogs, and instead of stuffing it with cheese on the edge, we had actually hot dogs all around the pizza.
Yeah.
And then you cut that pie, you're eating pizza on the inside. By the time you get to the end, it's kind of like a corn dog, you know, with the,
Yeah,
the dough
sounds
around
good,
there.
actually.
Yeah.
We were in Oklahoma City many years ago. We went into the pizza joint. We said we want a pizza with sausage. Okay. They come down with hot dogs.
Well,
Hot dogs as a sausage?
I've heard breakfast sausage too,
Yeah,
like a
we
Jimmy
used
Dean sausage
Yeah,
put
we-
on there.
How
The links,
disappointed?
not the patties,
How
right?
disappointed could you be?
The links.
The links, okay.
You order a pizza with sausage, how disappointing can you see? Hot dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody has Italian sausage.
No, they don't.
No.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, you travel the country, and I'm sure all of us have experienced this. You get a pizza and you go,
Yeah.
this ain't.
You spoil it.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you. I'll
you-
tell you
you
what.
This is Chef Boyardee.
Do you know how many customers I have that the first stop that they get to before they go home from the airport is by us?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know what? I went to Arizona. I was gone a week, and I was craving this pizza, you know, or I just got back from Vegas, and
Yeah.
and you hear about it, and you don't realize that because I'm there late at night, and then sometimes like, oh, I just got off the plane, and I didn't even stop any.
Right there.
Got off the, you know, ordered, and then straight over here and got the
Have the car
pizza.
take you there first.
Yeah.
All right. The other thing I'm going to ask you about is shipping. Can you package your pizza and ship it like Portillo's does? And the
You
other-
know,
others?
I've looked into that, and because we don't have the resources like a Portillo's, it's really expensive to do it. Can we do it? Yes.
Yeah.
But my shipping cost, it came out to like $75 to ship a pizza somewhere.
Wow.
I do have, I
The
be honest
dry
with you, I do have a customer that now lives in New York, that he comes out here, and he basically gets about 20 pizzas, and he fills up like, almost looks like a suitcase,
Yeah.
and we put dry ice in there, and he gets that whole thing, and he brings it into, and lets the airline know that that's what he's
Yeah, I
doing.
can just imagine him going through with the inspections.
Yeah, he lets them know.
What is this?
You know, they package it in a different area, and he gets to New York, and he says it's still frozen, and he
Yeah.
gets a big freezer and
Yeah.
puts them all in there, and he cooks them himself.
That's a diehard customer.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
yes.
awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Well,
Not a pizza, but we went to Florida one time, and the kids were down there and stuff like that. So we went down and visited some friends from Chicago here, and I said, "What do you guys want?" Bishop Chewy. Bishop Chewy. I said, "Why Bishop Chewy from Forest Park?"
yeah.
So we went and bought a big package and took it down on the airplane. By the time we got down, it was thawed out. And you could smell it chewing all over.
Oh,
But it was good.
Yeah. Well, I want to know because statistically, in raw numbers, around the world, every year 5 billion pizzas are served. And in the United States, it's 3 billion of those pizzas. Now, don't lie to us. What's the secret ingredient that makes people want to have pizza? I'm talking like, tobacco had an ingredient that made it
right,
addictive.
right,
What
right.
makes
So
pizza
you're thinking
addictive?
like the oregano that's in there,
Yeah,
right?
something's in there that say, I gotta have, your body craves it.
Yeah.
What is the magic part of pizza? Is it the sauce, the cheese, the combination? What is it?
It has to be a combination, because each person that I talk to, they're always going to compare our pizza to other pizzas that they had.
Yeah.
And most people are going to be like, you know what, I really like your crust. It maybe reminds me of a pizza I used to have in the city when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I have other people that say, oh, your cheese, I just love your cheese. And then other people that say, your sauce, there's nothing like your sauce, So you can't really pinpoint and say one thing. I like to say it's a combination, of all three. Some like one aspect better than others,
Yeah.
But I think the combination is really important, That's when sometimes people say, hey, you didn't put enough of this or enough of that. And it's kind of like, well, you don't want to give too much of one thing and overpower it. You need a good balance to have a good pizza.
Yeah. And I can probably tell you that if you were to set out pizzas from various stores and restaurants here in town and put them around the table, with A, B, C, D, E, we could pick out
Which
who
is
they
which?
belong to.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, whether it's the sauce or the cheese or the crust or the taste,
Right.
the overall taste, we could probably pick that out. And that's because we love pizza. But, I'm still adamant that there's something in pizza that
It could
triggers your
be
brain.
something in the tomatoes.
the tomatoes.
Something in the
See, we'll
tomatoes.
find it out.
See?
We'll find it out. See?
Because
That's the
that's, if you think about it, that's a homegrown thing.
secret.
So
Yeah.
it could be something from some vitamin, some niacin in the tomatoes.
Yeah, some secret ingredient. Well, the other thing I wanted to, you got it, Sid? I'm
Is
kidding.
that the president?
Yeah, it must be. He's going to be called out here pretty soon. The other thing I want to ask you about is we all love pizza and we enjoy different varieties and different toppings and stuff like that. But there's this one topping here in this area that people shun. for example, if you say in this group, I'm gonna order pizza, what do you guys want on it? You say, I don't care what you put on it, just don't put blank. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you what I think it is, but you tell me because you're in the business.
I'm gonna think it's gonna be anchovies.
There you go, there you go, anchovies. Do they have
I-
a separate door that they come in and out?
Who, the people or the
The people
anchovies?
that order them.
I think that's probably a universal thing. I think we all agree that don't put anchovies on my pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people mess around them.
And obviously, how many anchovies? What would be a percentage of the people who order anchovies on
It's
their
very, very slim.
Yeah.
pizza? Uh-huh.
Very slim.
Yeah.
You're in the 1 percentile.
Yeah, yeah. What about, I want everything. And I don't care what you put, I put everything on. You got, how many different ingredients? You got 15 different ingredients. Right?
32, I want to say.
32.
Yes.
Can you make up 32 ingredient pizza?
No, I think, you know what? I think because on the computer we did it one time, I think it was like a 14-inch pizza ended up being like $110 with every single ingredient.
That's crazy.
Not knocking one of your competitors, but one of your competitors on the street from you used to be, so they used to have the VIP,
Okay.
and they had about 12 different ingredients.
Yeah, ours is the Dominic special,
Yeah.
and we have sausage, pepperoni, mushroom, onion, green pepper.
Oh, that sounds good.
So you got 5 ingredients, and I think sometimes when you get a little bit more than
You
that,
don't taste them.
it gets a little bit harder to eat. You know, the crust is going to change; it's going to be soggier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't taste the ingredients.
Yeah,
Because there's too many.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I looked online as, the most expensive pizza. What was on it in the world? And there's a pizza for $2,000, $2,100. I think it's in England somewhere.
Caviar.
Yeah, caviar is on it, and
There's one that
edible gold,
edible gold, correct.
and lobster marinated in
Yep.
cognac or
And
something.
champagne infused and all this stuff.
I
Yeah.
can't order
I
that
haven't
from
had
Dominic.
one.
No. No.
That brings up a question. Do you have lobster on a pizza?
No, we don't. We do shrimp, no lobster.
No, yeah, same thing. Shrimp and lobster, same thing.
Yep.
Same thing, just smaller pieces.
Call you back.
Okay. What about loyalty customers? Everybody's got something, where you save the menus, or you
Yes.
save the coupons. What do you do there?
So, for the we've always had on our menu a thing where it says if you save 20,
Yeah.
after 20 you get a free 14-inch cheese pizza.
Okay.
Okay, and that's kind of like on top of your regular coupons that you use. So when you order a pizza and say you use a $2 off, you're still getting the savings on that pizza, but then you're also getting a little coupon. When you break it down, it's basically 50 cents.
Mhm.
Okay, so once you save them all, you come in and then you get a free pizza.
Okay.
So what we did was to kind of change that because people were saying like, oh, I don't save these. I have a bunch of these, this and that. We created a loyalty program and let the computer kind of. So once you sign up, you give us your email address. We enroll you in the system. Now it's kind of basically for every dollar that you spend, you get 1 point. And then we have
So kind of like mileage points.
mileage points, exactly.
Yeah.
So now we have it to where as soon as you hit a certain amount of points, you can cash those in. So I think like the minimum thing might be 250, and then you could cash in and get like a free slice of cheesecake or a drink or something like that. Or you get the 500 points, you get $10 off of your order. Or if you want to continue to save them, after a certain like 750 points, then you get that cheese pizza again.
Nice.
So we do that so that you don't have to save them, and we give back. So each time, we appreciate. I would have to say that 80% of our business is from repeat customers,
Okay, cool.
and because of that, we show appreciation to the customers for coming back to us, and we give them something on top of what we already give them.
Well, I like the way you're doing it because I was going to tell you about my experience.
Okay.
We were talking about it before the show.
Yeah.
Living here in Villa Park for all of the time that Dominic's has been in Villa Park, and all the time certainly that your family's been involved. And I just estimated, how many pizzas I have ordered from Dominic's at all 3 locations over my lifetime here in
Okay.
Villa Park. So, conservatively, I'm saying 1 every 2 weeks, and I know it's way more than that. Sometimes it's 4 pizzas at a time,
Sure.
twice a week. It's crazy. So 26 pizzas over 35 years. I've ordered more than 800 pizzas from Dominic's. And I told Maria, pick her up at that.
Yes.
And she says, yeah, I know, because I know your name, I know your address, I know what you like.
Right.
I don't need the computer, I know who you are.
Sure.
And then I figured, well, over, going back to the 70s, late 70s when that started, pizzas were a different price. But let's say $15 worth on an order, a pizza, something, because you got the sides,
Right.
all the stuff. And more than $10,000. So I would like to enroll in your program.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we just did.
I think I just did, right?
We just
But
did.
and I'm not the only one. I know you have hundreds of customers
Yes.
here in the area, not just Villa Park, but the surrounding communities that are like that order pizzas constantly.
Yep.
So that's a great thing for you to do, and not have that pizza menu drawer at the house in the kitchen where I got to save those coupons.
And you know what's funny about it is once we started it, we had to inform people that the coupons that you've saved in the past, they weren't like no longer good and you have to throw them out.
Yeah.
We honor those. If you bring them in there, we add those points to your loyalty program. And then once we started doing that, we were getting coupons from the woodworks from probably 20 years ago. People come in the drawer and be like, hey, you still take these? Yeah, we take
Well,
them.
we had a problem with that. My wife saves everything, and your ads never had a date on them. The coupons never expired. So she said, we got a coupon here for spaghetti dinner for $5 or $6. And then we call it $7 now, whatever. She said, can I use it? She said, well, yeah, you can.
I would ask you, did you get this from the casinos?
The
No.
idea?
Because that's the ones I save points for.
You can't transfer your casino points to get a pizza.
Yeah, you can't use the Empress over
You
here.
do a lot of community work with organizations. You do 10% off. You do other. How do they sign that? How do you sign them up with those?
A lot of times, we like to do dine and donates. We like to do it once a month. And
What is that?
people come in and they speak to my sister Maria. She's in charge of that. And we check to see in our books if we have availability for that month. And then, we see, what the proceeds would go to, and we try to help out every aspect.
If I come in on a night where you have something going, and I'm not part of the organization, would I get a part of my 10%?
Well,
Without you saying it or without you?
Well, the way we do it is we try to whoever's holding the fundraising
Fundraiser, yeah.
event, we try to get them to participate. So
Okay.
they're on their end, what they're going to
Okay,
do is
yeah.
they're going to print up these things and they're going to pass them out on their
Okay.
own. And then what happens is you redeem that when you come in and you have one of those sheets. Then we're going to take what you ordered and give the proceeds
Okay.
back. So it's we don't do it on every single sale.
Mhm.
It's people that participate.
Okay.
So because we want to get the community involved in participating.
Yeah, which is a very good idea. Thank you very much for coming back to the community.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and you guys are prominent in doing that. I see it a lot, and you do it appropriately. Not everybody that walks in should be asking you for stuff like this. Let's
They
point
do.
that out. I'm sure they do, and you're not any different than any other business here in town. That baseball teams and all the other things, that football, soccer, and you support those, and you support the dine and eat. And that's great for the community, and why I think you're a success, because you get those folks to come back and say, you helped us out and you did this thing. But the other thing is your ingredients. I got to tell you, I've tried them all. I keep coming back. Well, where are you going to order? We're going to order from Dominic's. And I love, the other ones that are here in town too, Michael Anthony's and La Tosca and others. They're good quality pizzas. And Billy's Dugout Pizza over there has been there a while too. But you guys just keep hitting the mark all the time. And,
Yeah. You know what? We were trained properly from the get-go.
Yeah.
And we just continue to do that. And it's easy to say you use the finest ingredients and the freshest ingredients, but we really do, because we get our distributors come sometimes five days a week. So the
Yeah.
product that we get is we just get it in and we turn around and we prepare it,
Mhm.
and it gets out the door and we run out and we got to prepare new stuff. So it is fresh, and we do shop around. And if we get some stuff that's not good from our distributor, we'll send it back.
Yeah. The other thing is quality control of preparation. Now, your cooks, your chefs, you don't cook every pizza, right?
Nope.
No, you may be in the kitchen every once in a while throughout the day.
Yes.
How do you keep the quality as it's being prepared?
You know, rotation. Rotation is a key part of it, and knowing when to prepare. You know, not to prepare too soon, and going through all your stuff. And it's you got to have the right people that know when it's good, when it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have those people. You know, we have key people in the back
Well, you have key people in front and services too.
and in the front. Yeah.
They're always joking around. They, you know, if there's something wrong, you can put your hand up and they'll take care of it. You know.
Yep.
They do take care of it too. And
That's what we try to do. You
and
know.
the service and they're part of their group. And when you go in with a group, they just join right in. You know, take care of you real good.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's your biggest competitor?
Biggest competitor.
Is it
No,
the
it's
chain?
not-
I don't mean by name. Is it the
it's
change
not.
or the mom and pop pizza joints?
I would think the mom and pop, because I think the chains are a different clientele. They're not my main competitors because we don't have the same product.
Yeah.
Those type of people are more like they're looking for a cheap avenue and a stomach filler.
Yeah.
You know,
And I'll add the third criteria there, the supermarket.
supermarket. I think that's a different clientele. I think the mom and pops, those are my biggest competitors.
Yeah.
And I don't view competition bad. I think it's healthy because I feel like that keeps me on my toes.
And you told.
And I think that that's healthy, and it keeps me striving to be better.
Yeah.
What do you think about the future supermarkets coming up? But they're going to have their own restaurants inside.
Like the Whole Foods here.
Yeah.
You know, I won't name names.
Yeah.
Coming up. They're serving pizza now. They're serving chicken and everything else.
And I think that's great. But eventually, with all the positives, there's negatives to
Yeah, but,
things.
uh,
So it's not. I can't see.
The quality won't be the same every time.
Yeah, well, not only that, but how often do you want to say, hey, let's go out to dinner, and you're going to go to the supermarket, and then there's going to be 300 people shopping, and not everyone wants to have that clutter when you're eating, and if there are that many people there, and then you're waited to be seated, and you can't get in a timely fashion, that becomes a negative drawback, we have our niche that we've had for a long time, and it's, you get to eat your food at the comfort of your own home, and you're going to get it at a quality restaurant.
Is carry out the biggest percentage of your business?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
There's always a line there.
I have a question, and thank you for keeping me shut up, Al.
You're welcome to talk.
How do you keep enthusiasm for your people? Because you walk into your restaurant, and the people, like you mentioned before, are joking, happy to see you, welcome aboard, and they seem to be genuine. How do you do that?
Well, I think it's
Threaten them.
well, you know what? It's you guys help us do that because it's the feedback that we get, and no one could be perfect. With the social media world that we have on there, it's kind of sad that people use that avenue negatively.
Yes.
But as a business owner, you have to look at that, and you have to kind of make adjustments and say, hey, listen, this is what we did. And you have to stay on top of it and be like, hey, listen, you have to be polite to people, and you have to do it. And the way we look at it is, over the years, Dominic has been a great place for high school people to start their first jobs. You know what I mean? And if we're giving back, we have to actually mold and teach people how to give customer service. And they're not going to be great at it right off the bat. And you have to kind of guide them on how to do it, and you have to show them the reviews and say, listen, if you're not like this, this is the feedback that we're going to get. And if we're going to get a lot of these feedbacks, there's not going to be a job for you over here. You know what I mean? And people by us get it. They want a job, they want to work, and they want to make people happy now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I think that's important. As much as there's negative things to the social media, there's positive as well.
I try to go both ways when I go someplace and give positive and negative.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't give positive though.
That becomes constructive then.
Constructive,
Yeah.
right. I think you can't be perfect. Not everyone's going to be
And
perfect.
if somebody goofs up, they goof up.
Yeah, mistakes do happen,
Yeah.
but if you try to be perfect, you're going to achieve excellence. And that's the goal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
the goal.
The poor waitress is out there. If the soup comes out cold or something, it's not all her fault.
Right.
Right.
A pizza takes 40 minutes instead of 20 minutes. It's not her fault.
That's why they say you can't shoot the messenger, and that's why the messenger sometimes has to relay. You know, it's not their fault and what happened, and apologize for the mistakes,
She
and
can't
then
go back and argue with the cook either.
and try to rectify it. That's all we can do is rectify it.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, and I haven't prepared you for this, but I'll just come out with it because it's not against you, it's against the pizza industry, the way the product is packaged.
Okay.
Years ago, the pizza that you would get, even delivered, or whether it was carry out, was the cardboard underneath and a paper bag
Yes.
with the labeling on top.
Sure.
And something to hold the paper off the cheese.
Right.
Okay. Now everything is prepared and delivered, whether pickup or delivery, in a box with
Correct.
cardboard and a piece of plastic over the top.
Right.
And environmentally, we've been told that the box itself, once that grease permeates off of the pizza into the box, that becomes something that's troubling or impossible to recycle.
Okay.
Okay. So we're talking about 3 billion pizzas a year, and if you stack up the boxes, you can make it dramatic and say, you know, to the moon and back, whatever.
Right.
But there are alternatives that are pricey, but alternatives that can be positive. And that is almost like a loyalty program where the first time I order from you, say, I want my plastic pizza box, okay? And I'm going to bring it back and we'll recycle it every time you give me a pizza. And I'm going to say, here's my box, or here's my container, and I take it back. And you can wash it, and it doesn't become something that goes into the landfill
Sure.
versus recycled, because it can't be recycled. They say that they actually look for pizza boxes and pull them out of the garbage when they're trying to get recycled product done because of the grease that goes into the paper. You put that into trying to create pulp to recycle paper, and the grease destroys the batch. Okay? Have you had any industry information about that, or anything that might lead us in that direction?
You know, this year I went to the pizza convention that was held in Vegas that they
Yeah.
have every year, and there wasn't a whole lot of that stuff.
It might just be too pricey, where it's out of line. To
Yeah,
actually do it.
because everything that they do, they're looking at it as what the positive would be, and then how are they going to mass produce that, and
What's the cost?
and then what the cost,
Yeah.
you know, and if people can't afford it and they can't mass produce it, then
They won't do it.
they're not going to do it.
Right.
You
right,
know.
Right. Right. Well, we're coming close. The clock says we're at past 11, but we started a little bit late, so we got just a few minutes.
Okay.
I want to give my co-host a chance to ask any more questions. Sid, you have something else you wanted to find out?
No.
No.
No, but
All
I
right,
do
you're
want to. I do want to say this that this being broadcast on Tuesday or recorded on Tuesday, that there is bingo at the VFW on Tuesday evening,
How did I know
and
No
you can order from Dominic's and have it delivered if you want to play pizza, and it's
See?
$5,000.
I like the way you tied that together, Sid. You could do that every time we have a guest.
See?
Well, I might even order it. I don't know.
Why not? Why not? You got your order set. He knows what you want now.
Yeah.
Dennis, what do you want to say?
You deliver the VFW if they call you?
Oh, absolutely. We do it all the time.
The VFW?
Mm-hmm.
They always order some other cheap pizza from a food store.
We do.
But sometimes they get it from us.
Okay.
No, we do have a.
We went almost an hour without getting ugly.
We do have pizza in stock. I think it's home run, but there's a lot of people that don't like it, and we have it there as convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We make a few pennies on it, but that's why I say you can order from Dominic's, and I can speak from experience. And I'm not getting a free pizza for this, but it's good. It's delicious. It's one of the better ones in town,
Yeah.
if not the best.
There's a good commercial for you. And Frank, it's been awesome to sit here and talk with you.
I appreciate it.
I hope you've enjoyed it.
I have, I
think Our
have.
viewers
It's
have
fun.
enjoyed it because we've gotten a lot of information about your restaurant and your business here in Villa Park that is admirable, to say the least, for a lot of reasons. Your quality, your customer service, and your loyalty to the community. So you're always welcome back. Say hi to everybody back at Dominic's when you go back there. this
Thank you very
afternoon.
much.
Start with your slices and then your deliveries tonight.
Yes.
Biggest night of the year is when?
I would have to say Halloween.
Halloween.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Everybody's out there enjoying the sweets and the pizzas.
Yeah, I think
And the
because
family together.
it's after trick or treating,
Yeah,
the parents don't have time to cook,
yeah,
so it's like let's order pizza.
yeah.
How about Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, you know what's funny about Super Bowl? It's very busy, but it's a small window. So,
For the game, half
5 o'clock to halftime is all your business. Is in that time because everyone wants to eat either before the game or at halftime, and then after that it's a ghost town. But it's
yeah,
it's a
we
lot of
know.
orders in a short amount of time.
All right.
The other thing is, I really have to emphasize what you've talked about, a mom and pop business. And in town, I know all of us probably shop at Jewel, Walmart, Target, but the mom and pop business is the place to go. It really helps us because they're in a community and they give back more than the big box.
Yeah, yeah, and that is admirable. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this. We're going to give our guest Frank one last time to tell us how to call for a pizza or how to find him on the website. But we've certainly enjoyed this. Frank, go ahead and tell us how to get in touch
All
with
right.
Dominic.
You could call us at 630-832-6929, or you could go on our website, dominicspizza.net, or you could just come in and order. We're open 7 days a week, open for lunch Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. And on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, we open up at 4. Our hours will be changing for Sunday when football starts. We will be open for lunch.
And there's different hours for the dining area?
Yes, dining room, we start at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock? Okay.
And in the dining room, come see us over there. Monday through Friday, we have specials. Monday, kids eat free. Tuesday, we have half price appetizers. Thursdays, we have buy one, get one free entree. Wednesday, I forgot what Wednesday
We'll
is.
figure it out.
But we do have a special on that.
And adult beverages?
Yes, we do have
What do you serve?
beer and wine.
Beer and wine, okay. And that's just in the restaurant?
That's inside the restaurant, correct.
Okay, all right. Great. Well, I think we've covered everything, almost.
All right.
Almost, except exactly all of the ingredients you could have. We'll list those as we go forward. But it's been a great show. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. You've been watching Uptown Villa Park with our friend Frank from Dominic's Pizza here in Villa Park, and we'll see you next time.